Hey folks, Merry Christmas, belated. Hope you are enjoying your holidays. I am here in Mahabaleshwar, spending time with my family and enjoying myself. So, this is the place, the Airbnb house we booked for 2 days. So, in the midst of hills, and there's a garden in front of it and greenery. So today's video is about 3 lessons that I learned in the past few days. The first lesson is habit. So some of you might recollect that in the last month I took up a challenge of creating one video per day for the next 90 days. And the first few days were really great. Then there were days where the challenge was seemingly difficult, but my persistence paid off. And some days wherein nothing worked, the video was not what I expected, but still I completed it. And so I was able to do 30 videos straight daily. However, what happens is, like in many cases, life has its own plans, its own emergencies, and some days there were other activities. Well, all these might seem excuses because ultimately, at the end of the day, I could not continue with that goal of daily one video sharing in the Facebook or LinkedIn. Friends, the lesson I learned is habit formation is a challenge in the initial days, and if one falls off the track, there's nothing to uh, beat yourself for the what we can say failure or so-called failure. Rather, we can take it as a challenge from the day we realized. So what I mean by that is, for me, I have again taken up a challenge of starting from today and posting a video a day for the next 30 days straight. So dust yourself and pick yourself up and focus on the goal with renewed vigor. Now, why do I do these videos daily? Primarily, as my mentor Siddharth Rajshekhar said, if I want to overcome my fear of facing the camera, or if I want to overcome my self-consciousness, which are very essential, uh, you know, uh, for one, if one wants to become a good coach or mentor, the skills of self-esteem and the video facing skills are very important, or camera facing skills rather. So for that I have taken up this challenge, and now I am picking myself off, dusting off and renewing my goal for the next 30 days. So instead of the next 90 days, I have taken up next 30-day challenge, because small bite-sized chunks will make the goal easily accomplishable. So this is my first lesson. Whenever we go off track in our mission or in our goals, there's nothing to beat ourselves up for the so-called mistake. In fact, we can treat it as lessons learned and focus on the goal with renewed vigor. The second lesson which I learned the past few days, especially yesterday, is that we all are compassionate by nature, and we all have kindness inside us. Yet sometimes in the daily affairs of things, and owing to lack of self-awareness or mindfulness in the moment, we sometimes miss some valuable insights. In my case, while driving down to Mahabaleshwar, we were at a toll gate and there were some vendors who were selling guavas. They were offering us 3 guavas for 100 rupees, and these are Thai guavas. So last week when I ordered them from Big Basket, it costed me one guava, that is Thai guava, for 40 rupees. And I had paid and bought that item from Big Basket at that time. However, in the seemingly, I'll say, non-mindful moment, I failed to realize that it's not correct to bargain from street vendors, because one thing, they have their families to take care of, and second thing, we need to respect their effort. They spend around 12 hours at least running around buses in the sun, in the rain, because otherwise they will not get their daily income. Even if suppose we feel that they are charging on the higher side, we need to understand that they will not become the next Ambanis by that small profit margin. And also that we don't bargain, or we can't bargain when we are at a supermarket or a departmental store. So why we try to negotiate with these people and feel that we have achieved something? Somehow this lesson slipped my mind yesterday, and I did not actively participate in the negotiation, but I silently witnessed it. And sometimes silence is also considered as accepting the thing which is going on. So the lesson I learned is that it's not correct to bargain from the street vendors. We need to purchase from them. That's how we can sustain their livelihood. That's how we can sustain them from migrating to cities as migrant laborers, and instead staying at their own rural or small town place and earning for themselves. So when I was doing meditation at the end of the day yesterday, I silently prayed for the betterment of the vendor with whom I tried to indirectly negotiate, and I wished him the best, and I prayed to God to forgive me for my non-mindful momentary lapse in understanding and in showing kindness to another person. So the second lesson is that not only we need to be mindful, we need to be compassionate towards souls, especially the vendors from whom we try to purchase various items. And these vendors might be in the form of people at the toll booth when we are commuting to another place, or maybe the street vendor who daily, a street hawker who daily comes in front of our house and shouts out the vegetables or other wares they are trying to sell. So let's not bargain from them. Let's try to show compassion. And to add to this, I also saw an old beggar, a man about 70 years of age, trying to beg, and somehow I ignored him yesterday. Yesterday I made some big mistakes because I was not mindful. I could have simply given him a small bill. Maybe I could have bought the guavas and handed out to him. That could have served as his breakfast or snack. He was old. He was spending 12 hours a day. Maybe some people say it's part of a racket and all those things, but somehow I felt the person, the effort it takes to stand in the sun for 12 hours, even if it is begging, and looking at the age and condition of the person, we can understand how difficult it might be. So we can simply, give him a small meal or a small snack instead of offering money if we are having any constraints or any other thoughts on, these type of beggars and their rackets and all. So we can simply hand them a meal, but that's again compassion. So yesterday my lesson was to be mindful in everyday instances, and especially while showing compassion to strangers. The third lesson which I learned, and this is a positive thing, is that while planning for this Mahabaleshwar trip, I had packed my jogging shoe, my running tracksuit, and all those running gear. However, somehow in the urgency, we did not pack the bag in the car. We did not place it. We forgot it, and instead of getting frustrated over my lack of proper planning, or over my family for somehow misplacing the bag, I did the next best thing I could do. See this slope? It's an amazing slope, and it's about 100 meters in length with a very steep incline. So what I did was, I took up the challenge of climbing this slope, in fact running up and down the slope 5 times, and I wanted to do fast running. And these are my sandals which I used for the purpose, and I used my thermal inner instead of a tracksuit. So nothing big running gear, but the things I had, I managed my running schedule with them, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of energy expended, and at the end, beautiful feeling of accomplishment. So friends, the lesson I learned here is to be resourceful, to try to make the best of what we have in the situation in order to accomplish the goal. My goal here was to be fit, and to be fit for the next marathon, which is the Mumbai Marathon coming up in January 2023. So be resourceful instead of getting frustrated and arguing with family and beating yourself. Be resourceful, make the best of everything, and try to accomplish the goal with whatever you have. So here are my 3 lessons. First lesson, as I said, is that even if a habit is not followed or we go off track, start again as if it is the first day. Renewed vigor, renewed focus, renewed inspiration, and maybe divide the goal into small bite-sized chunks to make it easily accomplishable. Second, show compassion in our day-to-day life by being mindful in the moment and showing compassion to people, because most of them need it. And third thing is that make the most of whatever we have. Be resourceful, because even with the best of plans, we know that life has its own rhythm and own style. Sometimes we tend to make mistakes or the plans go awry. So in that case, our resourcefulness comes in handy when we try to accomplish the goal with the things we have. So here we go, friends. I hope you got some ideas about the 3 lessons, and if you have any thoughts of your own related to these or any other lessons you may have learned, I would be glad to see them in the comments below. Thank you, and have a wonderful day and a happy new year, and enjoy the festive mood. Bye.